Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 43 now of the Red Sea podcast. This is gonna be a more special one, so I will make the shameless promotion as fast as I can. Do check out everything you want and need in the description if you like what you see, of course. We are now also on the new app that's been way calmer than I ever expected it to be. So yeah, do go check out the link for Bluesky as well down below. And in aims to preview one of the most unpredictable games of every year in the Superleague, I am joined by a very special guest, of course, that is my girlfriend, who you can freely introduce yourself now.
Hi everyone, I am the lovely girlfriend.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
I am honored for my boyfriend to have me as a part of his project, and I can't wait to talk about this derby coming up because I have so much to say actually. And the best person to talk about it with is of course you.
Even though I feel like I'm going to fucking Orbelin Pineda, but
What do you mean? Orbelin is sending you all his love, like I am sending
sure.
you all my love.
Those are two very different things.
I'll send you all my love when we score as well on Sunday.
Of course, it's worth mentioning that we will both be attending the game,
Yeah,
which will be a very different experience for you and an experience that I've been waiting for ever since the semi-final last year. Christ, it's
yeah,
been a
that's
bit.
true. For you, it's been a while. Yeah,
It's
I
been a
mean,
bit.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me as well, it's been a while. I haven't been in the stadium for a hot minute, mostly because I've been struggling to get tickets. So my first official match that I will watch, as a ticket holder, will be on Sunday as well.
Something. Given that I've also been at your stadium before I've been at mine this season, that's
Yeah,
something as
insane.
well.
Yeah,
Something very,
You
very
came at
ironic.
our stadium and we conceded the goal. It was at the Inter Descaldes game, and he entered the stadium when we conceded for the score to be 4-3.
I've told this story, but I'm still telling it very proudly.
I swear to God.
It's very safe to say that this game is either one of the most entertaining games of the season or one of the most boring games of the season, for one reason or another. And
Look, we have a large history of draws, so
also have a large history of sixes.
I am exiting the show. I am leaving. What do you mean? We
they're,
have sixes,
they're
we
very
have
rough
fives,
one.
we have fours, we have everything.
Yeah, that's why I said it's. I feel like there is no like. It's very rare to see a calm 1-0 victory or a 2-1. It's always like above 4 or below 1. There is no in between, it feels like. And if I'm not that mistaken, with uh, Francisco Ortega, of course, coming back, both teams are fully healthy, at least officially, because there have been some rumors going around that Santiago Esse is injured and is a doubt for the game on Sunday. That is very,
Interesting.
very Olympiacos, to say the least. It's very, very screaming of our luck for one of our best players to get injured before a derby. Even though that usually happens in the basketball, but that's something else. So we wait to see if that's official or not, because haven't really seen it blow up. So I'm not sure. I need to make sure. Uh, so yeah, that's gonna play a big part in the planning, especially because that evens out the midfield's quite. a bit because, as we saw the last two times, Santiago wasn't able to play. We struggled, especially moving the ball forward. So we'll see. We'll see.
I mean,
Aside
it's very
aside
interesting.
that, both teams are healthy. I think. Go on.
Yes, we are healthy. We don't know which players will stay out of the final 20 for Matthias's choices. I just wanted to comment on that. I love how before every single one of our games there is some kind of rumor out, like either a rumored key player being injured or rumors for players going away or coaches go away. Like right now, you have the rumor that Esa is injured, and we have the rumor that apparently Inter Miami is interesting in getting our very own Matias Almeida as their coach. So I love that every single time the derbies are interesting, but the day before the derby always has something to offer from content.
I more or less feel like that's Greek media though in general. Like before every big game, like a big story can come out or something just magically fucking happens or anything like that. So I feel like that's the media BS that I try and stay away from as much as I can. That's why I haven't even talked about the reported injury of Santi Ese, given that I don't have the slightest of clues on if it's real or not. So yeah, I think we're both more or less used to it by now.
Yeah.
Of course, the game has a big significance in the league as well, in this insane league table that is a three-way tie at the top with PAOK only 1 point away and Panathinaikos 2 points away. Uh, and even Panetolikos with a shot, given on how stuff will go, as he's only -3 from the top. So if the game, because as we said before, it's nowhere near sure that the game will show a winner. If the game shows a winner, there is a big chance they go top. Let me actually check out the other games because I have no clue who plays who.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, especially about Aris, given he is the third one in our three-way tie at the top. Even though I think Aris is playing Volos, if I'm not mistaken.
Volos at home.
Yeah, okay.
Volos at home. Panetolikos are playing Panathinaikos at home, so that will at least,
Interesting.
yeah, that
Very
will at least
interesting.
knock out one of the two threads, if not both. And Asteras play PAOK at Tripoli. That's also interesting.
Yes, it is. Tripoli
No
can be
easy,
tough sometimes.
no easy games really aside. Are yeah, Aris is easy. Volos at home.
Aris is an easy
Absolutely.
victory. Except
Yeah.
if Volos surprises. But I don't
Eh,
think so because they had the change of coach again. So, yeah.
chat the Vichelides as well. I doubt it. Uh, our last kickoff as well. Yeah, so we'll know. We'll know. Like the Panetolikos Panathinaikos game will be done, and the Asteras PAOK game will be an hour in when we kick off. So we'll know more or less what's going on. And the Aris Volos game is tomorrow. So I think the coast will be a bit more clear, is at least on how the match day table will look like. Of course, for us, it's also a tricky game rotation wise because we do have Steaua some days after as well. So we were talking about before the show, we were talking about who we think is going to play. And especially with the rumors about Santiago, I think even if he is slightly hurt, I don't think he'll be risked. So I do think we will probably see Danny Garcia if the rumors stand. Uh, So yeah, you were telling me about your 11. So do you want to talk about that for a bit?
Sure, I'd love to. First of all, I want to make clear my way of thinking that after Olympiacos play Aris twice in a span of 3 days, in order for the cup qualification round. So there are three tricky games coming up, but I still think that he wants to clear up the coast a bit. Matthias wants to be more clear of the position of Ike, and he'll get his starting 11 as we know it, probably, even though I don't agree very much. But I think the starting 11 will be the one it's been for the last couple of match days, with Hadji Safi as the left back, Rota as the right back, even though they were reported that there were some issues with Rota, that like he was hurt, but I think he'll risk it, even though he hurts a bit, and maybe put him aside for Aris. In the center backs, I think it will be Mukudi and Vida. For the center, probably Szymanski and Pereira, in order to have something more dynamic in the center. And for the 10, I think it will be Lamela with Martial as the left winger, Eliasson as the right winger, and Pierrot as the center forward.
That attack is tricky. And I've said it in the past that if that attack finds form, it will be quite difficult to stop. But midfield wise, at least I think, even if Dani Garcia plays, we still have the upper hand, given how I think you'd agree as well that the Szymanski Pereira duo is very slow, at least compared
Uh,
to. Ah, go on.
yes, I agree. I think that Pereira works a bit better with Pineda at the 8, because Pineda gives off some runs. He creates chances while Pereira can stand off like in the back and be more defensive, with two players that play mostly defensive, both of them, and one of them is very strong, let's say, with Szymanski. I don't think it really works, so I do agree that midfield-wise, Olympiacos, especially as a place, have the upper hand.
Of course, I hope as well that Santi plays. That's a given in my head. But even if we see the duo of Mozakidis and hope to God Dani Garcia and no one like Oliveira or Stamenic, uh, I think it's still a duo that covers each other very well, given uh, Dani's ability to just cover the gaps in the midfield, and of course Musa's amazing ability to not only find incredible passes but also help in the press and push forward himself. And of course there is Chiquinho to cover them all off in the attack, even though I don't think he'll do it, but it's an interesting scenario to also think as well if Chiquinho does drop back a bit more if Ace is injured, but we will definitely see. Attacking wise, as I mentioned before, I haven't the slightest clue who will play. Uh, if Francisco Ortega is fit enough to go on and play, I do think we will see him start alongside Carmo and Rechos, of course. But the right side is a very, very tricky one. I've said it before. I at least think our ideal right side is going to be Rodinei and Zelson Martins. But speaking of that, I have no clue who plays down the left. I don't know if we play Masuras, who is off form. I don't know if we play Velde, who is also off form, or if we do stick with the uh, Costinha Rodinei duo down the right, and play Martins down the left. I do believe that Kostulas also has a shout to get a starting position. So our attack is more or less a bit unpredictable, I'd say, at least way more than our midfield and our back line. So we'll see. We'll really see. The player I want to focus on your side is, of course, the man that's gotten you a lot of points himself this season, and that, of course, is Pierrot, which I think will be a very interesting matchup with Carmo and Rechos, of course. Do you have anything to say on that?
Yes, I do actually. Francis Pierrot is a very interesting player. Like when he came, like in the end of the summer period, not many people like they weren't impressed by him because they expected something more classy, let's say. But he has stepped up. He has he stepped up in the stadium, scored goals, and proved that he can be nice. I don't think that he'll have that much of a problem with Rechos because he's a strong and tall center forward, which we don't usually see actually. I think the most interesting matchup will be him and Carmo, how Carmo can control him or how Pierrot on his side can get past him because he's very strong in his head game. The thing that Olympiacos should really be careful of is his headers has a very strong head and he knows when he uses it. So I think we'll have very interesting battles between him and Carmen. I can't wait to actually see that.
I'd say Piero, and of course, we've talked about it and talked about it with people that follow the show. I think Piero is a player that would fit mentally bar football very well. So, of course, I've been keeping a close eye on him as well. As you said, I think Carmo will have to be the one to step up more, especially on what I consider at least to be our biggest weakness, which is, of course, the uh, the corners, the fouls. So on the header battle, I'd say more or less. I wouldn't say general strength. I'd say on the aerial duels, Carmo, as you said, will have to be the one who steps up more. But I think the advantage that Rechos has above Piero and that can perhaps help him cover Piero a bit differently than Carmo is the pace. Rechos is also a very strong centre back and he's shown that a lot. But when clinical chances happen, he always gets back. Of course, he always gets back. And I think a surprise problem to us, of course, he's not a surprise. Depending on where he plays, I think Rodinei will cover Piero a lot because at least from what I have seen, Piero likes to do the thing that El Cabbi more or less does, which is stay right on the line and run forward to accept through balls and score from the counter, which Rodinei has an amazing eye for, of course. So as you said, I think I'll add to it. I think that the matchup of Piero and our entire backline will be relatively interesting. Uh, Another, of course, thing that a lot of people are talking about, and not just our fans and your fans, is Martial and his, of course, general addition to your team, to the Super League, and him finding form. I don't think he's found nearly enough of the form he's expected to find, but I think, of course, that it is relatively early yet, given when he fully got inducted into the team. But what do you expect him to do, and how much do you expect him to play on Sunday?
Okay, no Adonis. No Adonis μας. Martial, that he has also had rumors with Marseille recently. Um, I believe that, okay, first of all, form-wise, let's not forget that this man scored his first goal last month. Like, from last month, we see Martial, hints of Martial that we knew at Manchester United. And I can see from the way he plays that he knows what he's doing. He knows how to position himself in the stadium. He knows what balls to make through. He knows how to play the game. He has it in him. So I think that he will help make the right calls and forward the right balls to either Pierrot or anyone else that gets forward. I think he will help Ike very much creatively, but I don't think he'll play more than 60 minutes. As I said, he's not in fully form yet. I think he'll play like 60 minutes and maybe then switch places with Lamela, put Lamela in the left wing as the left winger and put Pineda or Madalos as the 10. But even those 60 minutes, he will be there. He will do what he can for the team, and I think that he'll have a very good match actually.
We'll see. We'll really see. It's definitely a huge, huge talking point of the of the game. And as you said, he does play down the left, so it's not like he's gonna have the easiest of jobs. But looking forward to the other side, of course, a player that has helped us in the past, and that will probably be Niklas Eliasson. Correct me if I'm wrong, even though I don't think I am.
It's Niklas Eliasson, yes.
Yes,
I want to
uh,
comment on something before you say anything because
go
I've
on.
been saying it to you. The fact that this man at his national team, because from now on Eliasson is a starter in Swedish, in the Swedish national team, plays with Gyökeres, if I don't butcher the name. He plays with Gyökeres, he serves balls to Gyökeres, and then he comes back and plays with Levi Garcia. I swear to God, this is so funny to me. This is so funny.
Playing with Victor Gyökeres and just coming back and serving Levi Garcia is like playing with Messi at the national team and coming back to serve again the Roman Yaremchuk. It's an
Exactly.
insane switch. It's a crazy switch for sure. But I think he is, if I could pick more or less a danger man, like I always like to point out, especially before derbies and European games, I don't think I'd pick anyone else. I do think I'd pick Nicolas Eliasson, a man that's, as I said, helped us before with that 1-0 victory. Uh, a man that definitely can overlap behind the man, that can definitely use his runs and his pace perfectly, and the man that will probably, as things stand, face a returning Francisco Ortega, as I said before. So that will be a very tough task for an Ortega who hasn't played in, I'd like to say, around about a month. I don't fully take my word on that because I can't remember the last time he played. But I think it's been around about a month. So that will definitely be one of the main things to pay attention to. Uh, I think, though, that especially with uh, two fully healthy teams, again, asterisk on Santiese, I think both coaches will have done their needed homework. Uh, and I think at least formation wise, uh, there will be a class, I'd say. But the game plan of both coaches, I think, would differ how both teams would play. Do you think you'll try and come in focused on more attacking football, or do you think that the team would follow what I said, like Eliasson does and Piero likes to do, and play more counter-attacking football?
I've seen the history before with counterattacks. Like, if you remember, in the 2-0 victory in Karaiskakis last year with the two Orta goals, the Olympiacos-AEK, Matthias tried to play with counterattacks towards Levi Garcia, and that failed miserably, actually. So I don't think that counterattacks really help AEK or highlight the quality of AEK players. So I don't think so. I think they will play as they always play, like start from the back and build up slowly, or from the goalkeeper to either Pereira or Lamela, and from that the game opens. And with through balls, maybe the goal can happen. So I don't think counter will be the choice for this time.
I do think what you said does point out uh, a weakness that I have. That again goes back to the point I made a bit earlier that we do have the upper hand in the midfield. That if the 11 you mentioned does happen to be the 11 that you play, I think build up football kind of has a gap per se in the midfield with Szymanski's and Pereira's tendencies to uh, not really look forward, which once again does lead to through ball from, as you mentioned in the past events, Strakosha to the attack, which doesn't really, I'd say, compute with how big our defense is, because not only David Garmo but Panos Rechos are both relatively around Piero's size, so uh, heading won't be that easy, and Piero's quote unquote bully ball, to use basketball terms, won't be that easy. So, do you think that build up will work as it has in the past, or will there be that gap in the midfield that may worry you?
Look, first of all, about the bully ball you mentioned, you are doing my boy Piero dirty with the bully ball. I think that because of his physique, he's a very strong man. He's a very strong center forward, and he, like, let's be honest, Panagiotis Retsos doesn't have the physique Piero has. I think that he can body him in terms, let's say, so he can get the header. Back to what we were saying though about the build up. If we play with the backs that I think Matthias will play with, like Hadji Safi and Rota, I think that we will have a lot of engagement between Strakosha, Rota, and Piero. In the two derbies Piero has scored, he has gotten his assist from Rota. So this duo works well, and I think that Matthias knows that, and he will try to go with it.
Rod, of course, a player that has also been surrounded by rumors and names, and that's been uh, upgrading per se his game lately, especially since that win against uh, England back before this national break. The Rota Martins hope Martin. I don't know. Uh, I don't know where Martins will be focused, because I think, as I said, there is a chance Martins plays down the right, which, in my opinion, he will have a field day if he plays down the right against Hadji Safi. Which again, I've told this to you in the past, and I still believe that Haji Safi is a major weakness as a left back. Uh,
I have a comment on that when you're done.
yeah, yeah. So whoever plays against Rod, I think, will keep him busy enough per se for him to focus that much on attacking. And I don't think that uh, you have the luxury per se to play that much with attacking football with attacking fullbacks because especially Hadji Safi I don't think has the pace to keep up with the wingers that we will have, especially as I said, Zelson Martin. Go on with your comment.
My comment is trying to get into Matias Almeida's head. I believe that he sees Hadji Safi more as an attacking fullback because if you've seen like the game we played against Asteras Tripoli, Asteras Tripoli 3-0, he got in the box multiple times and he also scored, which is insane. Um, so and he has had some assists in like he has 2 assists, 1 goal in 2 games where he has played in the starting 11 because it's 2 games that he has played in the starting 11. And Pilios, on the other hand, our other left back, which is also my very, very weakness, and I'm so sad he doesn't play, but I get the plan. I think that Pilios is more of a defensive fullback. He'll use it when he wants to like have the defensive line more back. So I think that in the game we'll see a substitution of Pilios for Hadji Safi. I think we'll see that in order, if AEK is ahead in the score, in order to maintain the score, or else it won't happen. I don't know. That's my idea.
I do think that, as you said, Matthias has a very specific way of thinking about games, and I do think that will be the main thing that does hurt you. And another thing that I do think that will hurt you is the lack of pace in your defense, especially if the duo that you mentioned will play, which is, if I'm not mistaken, you said Vida and Mukudi, right?
Yes, exactly.
I do think that Mendilibar will find a way to use the quote unquote weakness because I do think that your defensive play is way weaker than your attacking play. And I've told you that many times. I do think Mendy will find the right missing piece that's a bit unpredictable in our 11 and the right combination, especially if we are missing uh, Santiese, to just use that completely lack of pace and the mistiming, I'd say, of the return of both of your fullbacks. Do you think that you'll be able to cope with that, or is that something that does kind of worry you?
Which fullbacks are we talking about?
Either or, honestly.
Okay. Um, to answer to what you said about the defense being weaker than Olympiacos defense, I will answer to you the same way I always answer to you because we've talked about this so many times that even if our defense, you see the names that we have in the defense, you see them, it doesn't cause you. Tell me.
I didn't say that your defense is weaker than our defense. I said that your defensive play, like from the sixes and back, because you usually do play with two sixes, is weaker than your attacking play. I said it's your defense that hurts
Okay,
you as a team.
got it. Okay, that's true. We do play with 2 sixes a lot of times. That's how we got the double as well, playing with 2 sixes. But that was different because we had Szymanski and Johnson. Johnson is a more creative six, while Szymanski and Pereira fully focus on defense. The thing is that it actually somehow works because we have we are the team in the league that has conceded the least goals, but it does hurt us like um, in creation wise, because even if we are good in a game, because there is, as you said before, this gap between the attack and the defense, it doesn't really work in favor of the attack. The defense can work, but the attack doesn't work, so we never score goals. And that's why we have the draws, like the draw with PAOK, the draw with Lamia, and also that loss to Panetolikos. Um, but yes, in terms of our two fullbacks, do you want me only to mention our left fullbacks because these are the ones in the conversation the most?
I do believe that even Rota has a slight problem still in uh, pulling back when he does go forward to attack, and I don't think that even Eliasson covers him off well enough, if that makes sense. But of course, the main weakness is my opinion for you. In my opinion, for you, is down the left. So focus on whenever you want, wherever you want.
Yes, that's true because okay, Rota sometimes like gets ahead of himself and goes too far up. So in counter attacks we have a problem. But as you said, Rota can run, but Safi can't run that much because of his age as well. He's older than Rota, of course. But most times this has happened because we have seen Hadji Safi play for 3 years now. We know his way of playing. Sometimes Szymanski covers him. Other times either Vida or Mukudi cover him. There are people who run back to cover him. Vida more easily because Mukudi, because of his height, can't run that fast, honestly. And it is mostly we are minus one man. It's 11 versus 10 if Hadji gets too far up. So yeah, that's a problem. But I think the defense can cover. We've seen the defense cover it. We've seen cuts being made. I think they can pull it off.
Yeah, that's definitely one of your main weaknesses, though, and that's definitely one of the main things that I've at least noticed from an outsider's perspective that Matthias gets stuck on fully, because we have also, of course, talked about it many times that this man struggles when planning a game. He does remind me uh, a lot of Mitchell sometimes with the
No, don't do
lack of
Matthias like that.
a specific. I don't think Matthias is the coach that will just sit down and plan a game like Mendy, like Ernesto, like coaches like that. I don't think that is Matthias, and that I think that's why you've been heard many times ever since his assistant just left. Uh, but I do think that's one of his main issues. Is there anything else you wanted to focus on or wanted my opinion on?
About Matthias that we mentioned, I do believe though that he has his own philosophy. He has his own way of playing. He knows what he will do as his own. Yes, for sure. The fact that he doesn't have an assistant, like his assistant, because he has an assistant, but not the one he had when we got the double, does hurt the team and the way it's playing. But I fully believe and trust Matthias's plan, and I think that in the end it will work. Except from that though, I think that from what I've seen, because I have watched some Olympiacos games as well, as you know, I think that we'll hit it in the set pieces. I don't know why, but the corners from Olympiacos side don't work for some reason. Like when you are being attacked from the corner or from set pieces, fouls outside, like the box and all that. I don't know what happens, but
I
something
mean,
happens.
it goes both ways. I don't think uh, we've converted the set piece for years now properly. And I don't think that's even exaggerating it. I think it's been a couple of years.
You
And
conceived the set piece last year. Last year
not not
was the
considered
Olympiacos.
converted
Tell me.
in the attack. I don't think we've converted a set piece in years. I know we're shit in defending them, which I
Ah, okay.
don't know
Yes,
why.
got it, got it.
So the set piece problem is a problem I've mentioned many times, and it does, of course, go both ways. So go on with what you were.
Even though, like, for some reason, like, this season, uh, like, troubles me with the corners a bit, to be fair. But I do think that in the end of the day, we'll probably get a goal from a set piece, honestly. And I honestly, if not from a set piece, I think that a very good pass will be made because we have people, the wingers, our wingers, both Martial and Eliasson and Lamela as a 10, know when and where to pass the ball. So I think that if Piero or Garcia, whoever is the center forward, I think it will be Piero, is aware of the ball that's going to be given to him, I think it will be a goal. Except if Jolakis stands his ground. That's another story. We are talking about creativity. We have two wingers and 110 that are very, very, very creative. So if the ball gets to them, it is a problem for Olympiacos' defense.
That's really something we didn't focus on, and that's the keepers, of course, with a keeper that is on the form of his entire life ever since last year. I think that's been continuing with some absolutely incredible saves to talk about this season as well, and a keeper that's been very inconsistent, and I think you'll vouch for that as well in Thomas Strakosha. Uh, so that's definitely going to play a major part in the game, given that both Piero and El Cambi are bound to have a lot of chances.
Honestly, about Strakosha, I didn't see his match that Albania lost, if I'm not mistaken. Did they lose?
Against Ukraine,
Yes.
yes, I'm pretty sure they did with Roman Yaremchuk scoring as well.
Yes, 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 yes,
That's
yes.
worth
You.
a
We talked
mention.
about that.
They
um,
lost.
yes.
They
I
conceded
didn't.
two in the
Mhm.
first 10 minutes.
Damn. Okay. I didn't watch that much to know about Strakosha's positioning and how much of his fault were the goals that were scored. But I will tell you from what I see from the league, because, well, Europe is long gone. I'm not talking about his form in Europe. Um, he has mostly been done dirty from his defense in the later games. Like in the beginning, you could see that he was not so much in form. He was not like used to the players in the beginning. Now he has gotten over that, I think, and he has been mostly done dirty from his defense, some questionable passes. He's trying though. I think he's getting back in form. I think that Thomas, when he needs to be there, he will be there, like in a shoot from outside or in an LKB 1-to-1. I think he'll step up. He'll be there. For Jolakis, I don't think there's much to say. He's a luxury to have. I would love to have Jolakis on my team. I think anyone would love to have Jolakis on their team. He'll play a
Except from
vital.
the fucking national team, apparently, but that's a whole different story for a whole different day.
I don't know. I think Ivan will realize that he needs to play him more, but we'll see. We'll see against Scotland, I guess, because that's who we have apparently. Um, I think that Zolakis will play a vital role in how the full time and the score will be at the end of the game.
He always does. There isn't a game where he hasn't yet, at least. Uh, think it's slowly time to move into predictions. Do you have a specific score in mind?
Because I'm the guest, I have to say first.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Do I say what I want or what I think it will be?
As long as the first one is realistic as well, you can say both.
Okay. I think that it will be a draw, probably 1-1. I don't believe we'll have a goalless derby. I want to make myself clear. There will be a goal scored. And I think, which is what I want, it's either 1-1 or like 1-2, 0-1, something like that.
So you're going with a close end. Uh, Well, I do think that, as I said, when we're expecting a good game, we just get stale again draw. Uh, I will, of course, back us to the fullest, and I will go for either 2-1 or a best case scenario 3-1. I don't know if it will
3-1.
happen.
3-1.
I think that if we decide to be competent in attack, I think that that's what can happen. But it honestly depends on how the game goes play by play and how well we come back from the break. Because the last two breaks we've come back looking like utter shit. So that's something to pay attention to. Anything else you wanna specifically mention, or should I slowly start closing off?
No, I have things to say, please.
Go on. Oh,
I
of
always have
course,
things to say.
of course.
Um, I hope that your prediction doesn't come back at you and it will end like something like 1-3 and we have seats from the Karaiskakis flying in the stadium again and like Marinakis and coming down and I don't know the chaos that happened. When did that happen? 2 years ago with Madalos or 1 year ago?
For the life of me, I don't remember.
It was nice times. Whenever it happened, it was nice times. I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was with the league. Was it with the league? I think it was with the league.
It escapes me. Just remember
Fair.
what happened.
Yeah, the chaos. Anyways, I do think that both teams will play well. I think it will be a very close match. Both teams and their coaches want this game very much because it's a very critical game for the upcoming ones. So I think that we'll see very tough matchups. I think we'll have a lot of yellows as well. Maybe even a red, to be fair. So I can't wait to see what this match has to offer us.
If anyone gets a red, that will probably be Szymanski. Let's not lie to ourselves.
No, no, no. Matthias has gotten a hold of that. When he has a yellow, he's getting subbed off.
This
This man
chaotic
knows.
Szymanski is about to be back at some point. I don't think we'll see a red, though. I really
Why
can't
not?
see a scenario where it's been a while. I don't think that anything will just go that utterly dog shit that will have a red card.
I
But
can see
honestly,
Francisco Ortega, honestly.
I don't think that has this man gotten a red card. I don't think he has.
Hasn't he gotten one in in the derby with Panathinaikos? No.
I'm blanking that bad. Wait,
I
I
don't
will
remember,
let you know.
honestly.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
But yeah, I think he has a chance, like uh, a foul and a yellow, and then like maybe in a counter attack or a penalty getting a second one, so it's a red, so bye. I see something like that.
No red for Ortega in the Panathinaikos game.
I don't know what I remember. Anyway,
Yeah. I don't know. We'll
whatever.
see.
That's my guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that even if we do have a bunch of yellows, I don't think it will go to a red. I don't know. We'll see. As you said, we'll see. Anything else you want to specifically mention, or have we covered everything? We've talked about a lot of things.
I know we have. Isn't that exciting? um, what else? What else? I don't think there's much to say, honestly. I think that also, like side note, a small side note, I think oh my god, my English. The substitutions will play
Mm-hmm.
a vital role in the game and how it is going, especially if it's like nil-nil or 1-0 early on. I think they will be very important.
Yeah, but I think that just breaks off into a lot of parts again, especially for us. Given who starts, given as you said how the score is, because uh, for example, the first name that comes to mind is Babis Kostoulas. If he doesn't start, for sure he'll get a game, even if it's like 30, 40 minutes, and for sure he'll be a threat, in my opinion, especially now that he has found the goal that he so desperately deserved against PAOK. Uh, I think we do have the upper hand on the. Our bench is weird. Our bench for me is two categories. Either, for example, players like Babis, players like Papacanelos, and then you have players like Oliveira and Stamenic.
Yeah, it's
No,
rough.
and then you have players like Oliveira. I don't want to the bunch.
Don't put them in the same category.
Yeah, because as much as I don't really like Marcos Stamenic, and I'd much prefer Bakulas to be in the squad, Marcos Stamenic is a good solution to just come in and close a game down for like the last 5, 10 minutes. So I don't want to bunch him in with Sergio Oliveira. But to your point again, I do fully agree that the match planning in general and the subs will play a very, very vital part.
I mean, regarding the bets, I'm not even talking about like, ah, you have light now. So nice.
Yeah, just realize that it was dark as shit.
Yeah. I believe that like in bench wise, we're not talking about youth, okay? Olympiacos has the upper hand in the youth. They have players that can stand in the starting 11 of many teams right now in the Superleague as well. But in terms of depth,
Every, arguably.
yes, I hear that. But in terms of depth and players who can come in and like give the coach what he wants and the people what they want, of course, I think Ike has a better bench at this point of time as a whole.
It's debatable, honestly, because we go back to, as we both said, depends on how the game is, and depends again who starts. Because we do have players that, for example, Lorenzo Pirola, who is wanted by uh, Juventus, which is a whole different scenario that I need to touch on in
Insane.
a bit. Uh, but we also have players that can come in and close out the game. As I said, Pirola, if needed, depends on Danny Garcia if he starts or not. Kostulas if he starts or not. I know you said not really focusing on the youth, but that is the main part of our team this season. Uh,
When I said not
if
focusing on the youth, I didn't mean the youth like as players, but like don't compare the two benches regarding youth because we have almost no youth. That's what I
yeah,
meant.
okay. Yeah, that I get. Uh, so I don't know because, as I said, our bench can't really be seen as a collective because half the players don't play. Uh, so we'll see how it goes. I can't really just stand here and say he'll play well, he won't play well, etc. I think you get what I mean.
Yes, I do get what you mean. Um, just a general talk about the benches, nothing more. But yeah, I don't think I have anything to say on that, honestly. I think you fully covered me and I said what I had to say. So yeah.
Yeah, I think there isn't really much more to say because all will be seen as the game passes, honestly. Uh, so yeah, I think that's about it. We've gone for a solid hour, which is
Yeah.
impressive, honestly. But I did start even by saying that this game does have a lot to show us, and it uh, probably, honestly, will, especially since its significance is bigger than it's been for a while. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like Olympiacos are, or Olympiacos I in general, the derbies between us are always very important, either for the league table or the mentality of a team. Like when I wasn't in a very starting role, the games against Olympiacos were always important for her in order to get some boost in the confidence. Now, I think it's a boost in the confidence of both teams, and it's very important for the standings right now. I think it will be a very close match. Both teams are very strong, but Ike has it in the bag. I know Ike has it in the bag. So we'll see.
we definitely will. Thank you, of course, for joining me. We have
Oh,
been
please, it
planning
was a
this.
pleasure. I loved it.
We've been planning this for a while. So yeah.
Yeah,
Your link is also down in the description. Your page on where you work
shameless.
very hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
shameless promo as always.
yes.
Uh, and I'll be back. There will probably be a pre-recorded catch-up for the Baskonia game that we saw yesterday. There is a vlog, despite the loss to Great Britain, there is a vlog in the works for that as well. And there is also probably going to be a vlog in the works for the AEK game. So yeah, see you all
Wait,
soon.
wait, 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 wait. We'll have a vlog on the Ike game.
Yeah, I'll probably work on one. Yeah,
Oh my god! Insane.
you'll have some stuff for your page as well.
Post it only if we win. And if we win, you can post it.
Sure, sure.
No other chance.
No comment. Yeah, thank you all once again. Whether you're watching now, whether you watched, and whether you keep watching, like and subscribe. Go leave a review on Spotify because it helps way more than I thought. And check everything out. Thank you.